Hi, friends.
Hello.
Welcome back to Talking Tandemness with Jenna and Curtis, where we talk ourselves into circles for the hopes of helping someone on this earth.
Not making a negative comment this time.
That's fair.
Yep.
How are you doing? We have not talked in 2 weeks.
Um, I don't know how I'm doing. I'll find out
Could
how I'm
could
doing.
be, could be better.
Always could be better. That's kind of
Fair.
my MO right now, is it could be better.
Fair.
And,
So you have your big meeting for your work tomorrow.
yeah, that's tomorrow at 3:30.
Is it a long one? Did they reschedule it at all?
No, it's always been, they're always at 3:30. They're always half an hour.
Oh.
This is
Well, I
just
think
the
that's a good
last
thing then.
scheduled one. Is it?
Yeah, because I feel like when anyone's getting fired, it happens in the morning. And usually happens on a Monday.
Well, this was kind of planned out 45 days ago.
Yeah, I don't think you're getting fired then.
Well, maybe.
How's the rest of your life going?
Um, kind of dull. Not much going on. Oh, that's not
Give
true.
me something exciting.
I was getting there because I just remembered something, okay? If you would listen, I said, oh,
Well, I was responding to your dull comment, so
yes, my
I
life, but my
wouldn't
life
hear when
is
you said,
dull.
"Oh, okay." Next,
My
what
life
is
is
your
dull.
oh?
My O is, so over Christmas, I'm asking for new golf clubs. It's not going to cover it all. I have to pay for some of it. However, I did last weekend go try clubs, and this weekend I'm going to get them fitted and customed.
Oh,
So
that's
that's
exciting.
fun. And they felt really nice. So I'm looking forward to that next month when I get them, and then
Isn't it crazy
hopefully
that
being in a
Christmas is in
place.
like 35 days?
Isn't it crazy? Thanksgiving's next week.
I know that makes me ill. Actually,
Yeah, I haven't done any
I
shopping yet.
actively have no clue what day it is ever. So I was trying to watch an episode of one of my TV shows today, and it kept saying it was recorded the 10th, and I was like, why is this the last week's episode? Like, it was recorded the 10th. Oh, because last week was the 10th. We are far past the beginning of November, and I had no clue.
Yeah, time has no meaning right now. I was sitting
Yeah,
at work
I've had a
today.
really, really rough month.
hmm
So I am like by far ready for this whole month to be over. And like I'm not it's
Yeah.
gonna sound bad, but I'm not even excited for Thanksgiving because it's just me, my mom, and my dad. So I'm trying to make it fun, and I'm gonna write down the recipes and do fun stuff like that. But like it doesn't feel like Thanksgiving because my sisters aren't coming home. So for me, it's like
Yeah.
just another day.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah, I mean, I guess everyone keeps saying it's what happens when you get older, but in my brain, like I have no commitment to anyone, so
hmm
I'm like, we're young, we're still early 20s, like we should be going home for holidays, but like I understand the fact that like obviously significant others come into play as well as they live far away. But
I
oh
mean,
my
I think
god,
it depends on
yeah,
people. Because like
and
my
work
cousin who lives in
schedules.
Boston still, yeah, yeah, that too. I mean, my cousin who lives in Boston, she and her boy, she comes for Thanksgiving. Her boyfriend goes to his house, and then they rotate Christmas and New Year's. Who goes
Yeah,
where
yeah.
for
Well,
which
we
one?
get everyone for Christmas.
I mean, that's nice.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I just like miss holidays. I feel like I have like everyone like we already have our Christmas tree up. We're like in the holly jolly spirit in our house,
hmm
but it just doesn't feel like the holiday season. Plus, the weather is like throwing me off. Cause like some days you could walk outside in shorts, and I'm like, oh my god, it's almost December.
Yeah, I get that. That's another weird one.
Yeah, I feel like everything this year is just wrong. So, I don't
Very
know.
understandable.
Yeah, I as I said, have had a really rough month. I feel like
hmm
the past like 6 months we've been saying that, but this month in particular, like this is probably the lowest it's been. Um, Obviously, the start of the month was really, really bad for me, and I went into a complete disassociation. Like, I'm not kidding. From the last time we recorded to probably last Monday, I was
hmm
like completely living in a haze. Like, my I could not get out of bed type disassociation. I like would do things and wouldn't remember what I was doing. Like, it was pretty bad. Then I went to Boston, and did we talk about this? I know we didn't talk about it on the podcast.
Not
Did we talk
on
about it?
here. We had a small, brief conversation.
Yeah, so me and my friend that I went to Boston with, so we went, election was on Tuesday. We went Thursday to Boston. We are on polar opposite sides of politics. I knew it was going to be hard. Everyone knew it was going to be hard. I didn't think it was going to be as hard as it was. Friday night, we go on a pub crawl. Things get very, very political, very, very fast. We get back from the pub crawl and we get into a very heated discussion. Saturday, we wake up and we're supposed to drive to Salem. Also, Boston, completely different than how we did it. So if we do it again, I want to redo the whole trip, because I loved the city this time. Like, I loved it last time too, but like I saw a different side of the city this time. So if we ever go back, redoing it.
Yeah.
But we wake up Saturday after our heated discussion, and I'm the type of person, I'm like, put things behind you to get through the trip. Like, I compartmentalize, and we've gone over it in the past. I can really not, like, I can completely separate something out. So I woke up at 6 a.m. Saturday. We didn't go to sleep till 4. I woke up at 6. So essentially, like, still drunk. And I showered, got dressed, was ready to go, because we were supposed to drive to Salem and do like a whole day in Salem.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she wakes up at 10 o'clock and tells me last night she rescheduled her flight and she'll be flying out Saturday.
Oh.
Yeah. So I went to Salem, did the afternoon in Salem by myself, and then drove home Saturday night. And me and her have not talked since. So everything I said about you can have friends on all sides of politics, it really just depends on what type of friends you are. Because clearly there was a time limit on that one. So we've been recovering from that for like the past, I don't even know, where's the calendar? Week and a half.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's a bit different than what I thought was going on, but, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you didn't tell me that part.
Yeah.
You just told me you left early. You didn't say that the whole she changed her flight.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I was talking to my mom about it, and I feel like now that I'm going to consider myself out of the friendship. I don't think we can come back from this, because I lost I paid for a hotel we didn't even end up staying in. I didn't get $1 back. Like, I don't care what anyone says. Like, there's no, like,
Yeah.
I was so mad. But now that I'm out of it and I'm looking back, I truly think there was a time limit on our friendship, because she would actively make comments like, I can't be friends with people on the other side. I would never date someone on the other side. She would talk about how stupid people were on the other side. Like, little jabs, and she very much so knows my political status. Like, I am not quiet about it. And it got to the point, too, where I felt like every time I was with her, I was walking on eggshells, I'm trying to think of how to say it. Like, there's a...
Keep the peace.
Yeah. Like, well, so she's from, like, we're on different sides of the country, too. So, like, I was raised very much so, like, middle class, blue collar. Like, my parents worked for everything we've gotten. I know I'm from Jersey, and I know Jersey's not the best, but I pride myself on being an American, and that's all that matters, because, like, I don't know, I don't have like a superiority complex at all, but I felt like every time I was with her, I was never good enough because I wasn't from where she was from, because I didn't go to school in these places. Like, it would actively make me feel worse, so I would kind of go with the peace to, like, keep that. And now that I'm looking back, I'm like, you shouldn't have to walk on eggshells in friendships. Like, you shouldn't have to constantly feel like you're not good enough because of your social, economical, or where you were born. Like, it's so stupid.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
And then also, this happened, and suddenly everyone's like, yeah, we weren't the biggest fan of her. And I was like, why did no one tell me this prior? Oh God, if she listens to that, that's so bad. But like, a
I
lot
mean,
of
at
my
this point,
friends,
what do you really?
yeah, a lot of my friends were like, we weren't the biggest fan of her, and I was like, why would no one like smack me in the face first?
Well, why would they?
Because it's a good thing to do. My friend is, I don't know how to answer. My friend just texted me and said, money question. I'm working a lot of overtime and I have a little extra cash. Is it better to pay off my student loans or put it in a high yield savings?
That's a personal choice.
Yeah, I said depends. That's on you. I don't know. I'm like still trying to figure out money myself. But that's yeah. So I came home from that and I like completely raged out,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gonna sound bad, but like she made me so frustrated with her political view that I came home and I just like did a ton of research and like filled my brain with as much knowledge as I could. So now I feel like I'm busting at the seams. But I mean, I guess the more knowledge you have, the better.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, so that's how my month's been. That's my little lesson from my life.
Boy, put me on the spot now to come up with something for a lesson from my life.
You don't have to say it. Like, I think that is hard enough that like I think recording this podcast I've had like 3 friend fallouts. Right?
Definitely something.
And like I truly every time it happens I'm like, am I the issue? Like, is it me? But then I also have like really close friends like you who like also
I think
tell
it
me
just
that
depends on the person.
yeah, some people are not compatible. That's all I have
Yeah.
to say.
I mean, that's all there is to say, I think. This is like a completely unrelated, but I'm kind of like,
No, you're good. But throw me in a better mood. What is your I got?
I got accepted into Instacart.
Okay.
I was just put on a wait list like a month ago, and it's not that exciting, but that's what I'm going with because I think that'll be a good one if I need it. So,
Is there a lot of Instacart in your area?
I don't know. It just took me like 2 months to get off the wait list to be a shopper. The good news about Instacart, you don't ever have to use your own money.
Ever?
Mm-mm.
Gas?
So like, I mean for gas, but like DoorDash, you'd have to use your own money until you complete like I think it's like 5 dashes to get a DoorDash card. Instacart just gives you a card and you can put it in your Apple Wallet right away.
Really?
And then they'll ship you a card.
Instacart is so expensive. Well, obviously it's not going to be expensive for you because you're doing it, but like to use
Oh,
Instacart,
I don't
it
use
is
the services.
so
All the services are
expensive.
expensive. Yeah, they all are. I'm just doing it to, maybe make some extra cash.
Are you snapping?
I was cracking my knuckles and then realized
Oh,
that it was
I was
right next to my mic.
I was like, whoa. Yeah, my mom uses like the Walmart pull-up delivery for my grandma, and it is like literally half the price of what Instacart was.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, Instacart's all of those services are expensive though. Like none of them are cheap.
When you do the Walmart pull-up, it's actually like it only
No, I'm not
adds,
talking
like,
about like the store ones. I'm talking about like the third
the
party.
delivery, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's because you're paying when you're paying Walmart, or when Walmart does it, they're paying their employees the normal salary, like it's just like another job. Whereas when you're doing Instacart, you have to pay a third party to go and get it, while also the companies are paying the people to pull it, or paying like there's so much more that goes into it.
I know it's hard for restaurants too if you're doing like DoorDash, because it's the same deal.
Yeah.
They just have to figure out if they're going to eat the cost or if, they're going to pass it on to the consumer, and you're kind of dumb if you eat the cost, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think we're going to get to a point where things are going to get a tad bit too expensive for me to ever do Instacart or DoorDash again.
Oh yeah.
I will walk my ass before I get anything delivered to my house.
I don't ever do either of them. The only thing I would do is like chain restaurant. No, I don't even do that. It's not that far of a drive. So I don't know what I do. I go pick up.
Yeah.
But the one restaurant that's like not even 5 minutes from my house that I've been going to a lot. I get a burger, which is like a decent sized burger, fries, pepper jack cheese bites, all of that for $17.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, I mean I
My
go to
average
Wendy's, I
meal
spend
is
more
like
than
20
that on a
bucks.
yeah. You go to Wendy's, you get a burger, a double cheeseburger, a large fry, and a 10-piece nugget, and that's like $22. You're gonna say, well, yeah, listen
No,
to what
no,
you
no.
just said, fat boy.
No, 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 no. Absolutely not. Wendy's also, their sodas are like $3.75 a soda. It's
It's $1.
crazy. Now they're $1 because they had to drop them. But for the past 3 years, their sodas have been the most expensive
Oh
sodas
yeah,
in the fast food game. I don't go to Wendy's.
yeah.
I don't like Wendy's food.
Oh, I love Wendy's.
I don't really eat fast food.
I eat it every now and then. I've been doing Dairy Queen a lot more than like Wendy's or anything.
Do you remember my experience with Dairy Queen?
Not really.
Growing up,
Is this
our
like
Dairy
one of your
Queen.
trauma stories?
Mm-mm. Growing up, our
Oh.
Dairy Queen was privately owned, so it was only ice cream.
Mm.
I didn't know Dairy Queen sold fast food till I got to college. And then I was like, I want fries. And the only place that opened was Dairy Queen. And they were like, well, let's go to Dairy Queen. And I was like, I don't want ice cream. I said I wanted fries. And they were like, it's a fast food place. Had no clue.
Yeah, but their chicken tenders are good.
Never had them.
Ours is I'm just gonna say ours are owned by Indians now.
Mm-hmm.
Like you go there and you can't understand what they say through the intercom.
Mm-hmm.
I do my impression, but I feel like that's too far.
No,
It's
that's
a pretty good impression.
bad.
It's
Don't
it's a
do
good
that.
impression.
Nope.
But
That might be culturally insensitive.
it's what they
Just a
sound
little.
like.
Nope, doesn't matter. It's culturally insensitive.
Yeah. They took over my Dairy Queen. It used to be all like local high school kids, and now there's not a single local high school kid there.
That's fair.
So,
I recently learned that kids in high school don't work as much anymore, which I think is crazy because when I was in school, we all had jobs.
yeah, I agree with that. Most of us had jobs in school at some
Yeah, a
point.
lot of the businesses around me are closing because they like don't have workers.
I mean, I feel like there's also like people who just won't hire high school kids anymore. Like the one place that I'd worked, like as my part-time job in college, like out of college, um, for the longest time they were not hiring high school kids at all.
Really?
Yeah, like they refused to hire high school kids, other than their children, um, until their kids got a little bit older and they were like, all right, your friends can come work here, and then they started hiring high school kids.
Yeah, we are literally everywhere was high school kids near me.
Yeah, but it's nice. It's always good.
I started working when I want to say 16, but I think I was 17, or like was just turning 17. Like I think I started like 3 weeks before I turned 17, and by the time I was 17 and a half, I had 2 jobs.
I don't know when I started working, because technically I started working for my parents, and I was like 13, 14, and I was just like 1-2 days a week. I'd go on deliveries with my grandfather. They'd pay me a little bit of money, but really my grandfather and I just went out and ate. Well,
Oh no, like
we got snacks.
I started at an amusement park near me when I was
Mhm.
16, and I during the school year was working weekends, like 12-hour shifts on weekends. And in the summer, I was doing like 60-hour weeks because anything over $40 was cash. So we would
Yeah.
like load up. And then my senior year of high school, I was doing, so that was like a March to October job. And then in October of my senior year, I got a job at like the local sporting goods store. So I was doing 20 to like 25 hours a week during the school year, plus athletics and classes and all of that. And then that summer, I was doing that in the morning, amusement park. So like I would work the sporting goods store from like 9 to 12, and then from 12 to 12 I would work at the boardwalk. And that was like my standard up until COVID, I guess.
I did go work somewhere that wasn't for my parents once I turned 16. I worked at the country club.
Yeah.
I do want to specify
But
that.
I feel like it was so normal. Like obviously we're
Yeah.
24 turning 25. So it was so normal for like our years to do it, but then I like even my younger sister who is 3 years younger than us, 4 years in school, so like
Mhm.
we were seniors, she was in 8th grade. Her grade, like none of them really worked.
My sisters did. I don't know. don't know what's gonna happen with that one.
Yeah. Do you want to hear another complete topic transfer? My brain started thinking of it. Do you know what I started? So I think we've talked about. I have really bad sleeping issues. Like either I don't sleep, or I don't sleep well, or I have to like take a sleeping medicine. Well, I started. Have you seen the trend that it's like mouth taping?
Oh no.
Curtis, I have gotten the best sleep of my life. My Oura Ring said my sleep score was a 98. But I did buy, like, I'm not using, so my friend had me watch Love is Blind, and the guy in Love is Blind did it, and I thought he was a wacko, but he used Scotch tape, and he just, like,
That's
put
weird.
he put it over his lips. I don't do that. I, like, actually bought, like, mouth tape, so it's breathable. So, like, if I hold my nose, I can still breathe through my mouth.
Well, I'm glad you're not suffocating yourself.
Yeah,
we would have to have a different conversation.
I told my mom, I put it on the first night, and I realized I would never be able to do this with someone next to me in bed, because I would be so scared they would clamp my nose in my sleep, and I would I would just forget. If you did it to me while I was sleeping, I'd forget how to breathe. Like, I would die, because you would just be blocking my airways. But I don't know the science behind it, but it does give you better sleep.
Yeah.
It's also supposed to help with, like, clenching your jaw, which my jaw's been popping, so.
I can't speak to that one.
Yeah, everyone that talks about it's like, I would be claustrophobic.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be claustrophobic. I just think, at this point, I would very much
suffer with insomnia.
No, I'm drawing a blank. I think I suffer with what's it called? Cyclical sickness disorder.
What the hell is that?
It's where you feel sick at the same time every day.
What?
Don't ask me. I'm just going off of what the internet says.
I think you should not self-diagnose.
I didn't self-diagnose. I just Googled, why do I feel sick at the same time every day? And that's what it told me. I
mean, I guess it's okay that it's telling you that it's all in your head, because that's essentially what that means.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, women have that, but it's not that we get sick at the same time every day. It's that you crash. So there's a thing called the 3 o'clock slump with women, and it's because the way your hormones go up and down, by 3 o'clock your body like completely zones out, and that's what the 3 o'clock slump is. But it's for women hormones.
Yeah, this is more just
and the science behind that is like men don't have it because men run on the 24-hour biological clock, whereas the women's biological clock is like 28 days. So the amount of sleep you get to rest time, it doesn't equate to what you're actually supposed to do. So that's why you hit the slump at 3.
Yeah, this is more just I feel like I'm going to like throw up for a bit.
Is it after you eat?
It's like 2 o'clock.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
I mean, not weird in a bad way. It's just like odd.
No, it's weird in a not good way.
I self-diagnosed, but I went to the doctor to prove it.
That's good.
Well, it's not that I self-diagnosed, but when I was like 18, when I went to like the girl doctor for the first time, I was diagnosed with this thing called, well, I wasn't diagnosed. They said that I had the same symptoms of PCOS, but then I went on birth control, and it like essentially just like masked every symptom. So then I went to the doctor like 7 months ago, and I was like, look, I have PCOS, do the blood work to prove it. And she was like, you can't diagnose. And I was like, no, I know I have it. Like, I've done enough research and I know my body. Just like do the test to prove that I have it. So then I got my test done, and she was like, so you're right. And I was like, because I know I'm right. I've done enough research and know enough stuff. And then I was talking to my friend, and she was like, how did you know you needed those blood tests done? And I said, I told them to give me the blood test that I need for PCOS. And she was like, well, how'd you know? And I was like, because I know. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Well,
don't self-diagnose, people.
If you do self-diagnose, get yourself checked out.
Yeah, go to the doctor and tell them, I know I have this. Unless it's like cancer, then like maybe consult a doctor before you start Googling things. But if it's something that's been mentioned in your past, like when you were, I don't know, let's say you were 18 and they said you might have high blood pressure. If you go to the doctor and you say, I have high blood pressure, you had fair reasoning to think why you do.
Right. Me?
when Curtis was a freshman in college, they took his blood test when we were in the we had to do like
Okay,
physicals.
they took it immediately after practice.
Everyone else's blood pressure was whoa. Everyone else's blood pressure was fine. Curtis's was actually through the roof. And Curtis doesn't eat anything that's good for you. He eats carbs,
just
chicken fingers, and fried food, and doesn't touch anything with color in it. And they were like, Curtis, your blood pressure's through the roof. And he was like, there's no reason that is. I don't know, Curtis. Maybe it's because you eat 6 sides of fries a day.
Well, I do not.
When we were in college, what did you eat every time we went to... I don't think you know what slander means if you think this is slander. When we went to the cafeteria, every time Curtis ate like a hamburger and fries, or...
I got a chicken option.
There wasn't always a chicken option.
There was normally a chicken option or pasta.
I would say it was either fries with like some kind of chicken finger or burger, or a slice of pasta or pizza. I don't think you ever got the pizza from the caf. I hope you did.
Every now and then, if I was like not desperate.
Can we talk about how people on TikTok? Oh my god, I wish I knew the girl's name. She's a really her TikToks are really cute, and she's like has a good platform. But she glamorizes school food, and our cafeteria did not look like that. Her food looks so good every day, and I'm like, when I was in college, we're lucky if there wasn't a grasshopper in your broccoli. Not that you ever had that issue.
No, I had a moldy hot dog bun, so.
Yeah. Like, our school was really down bad with the whole cafeteria.
Yeah, our cafeteria
and the
sucked.
the biggest hype on our campus was that one. So we had like different dining halls. I'm talking as if you didn't go, but I feel like people are listening. There was different dining halls, or not dining halls, but like essentially like restaurants. I don't know. That was what you call them, right? Like restaurants around campus that you could use your meal swipes out. Yeah, options. And one of them would serve like a huge plate of mac and cheese. And when you do your tour, everyone would say, go to this place because you get Kraft mac and cheese, like a ton of it for a meal swipe. I think I got it twice.
I didn't even know we had Kraft mac and cheese on campus.
Yeah, I would go.
Was it
I
L's?
went twice my freshman. Yeah.
Oh,
I went twice my freshman year. I went twice my freshman year, and I don't think I ever got it again. But they had a really good buffalo chicken salad. I think. But also, it was the only place on campus that had fountain ginger ale, and I am a ginger ale holic, so I would go and only get a ginger ale. But it was like the biggest hype was that don't get the dining hall, go to L's and get mac and cheese, and I just never did it. And now I look back and I'm like, what were you doing? You could have had mac and cheese instead of
I was just
moldy
never
penne.
there to get it. That was my problem.
Yeah, I mean,
probably would have eaten that.
It was underneath the science center, and neither Curtis or I was ever in the science center building.
Not after freshman year, I think. I forget when I had chem. I think it was freshman year. That was the year that juniors and seniors thought I was 30 years old.
Jeez Louise.
I know I told
I
you
had
that
one class in the science center, and it was gender studies, which...
That should have been in a different building.
Yeah, every day she would walk in and be like, I have no clue why we're in this classroom.
Fair.
And then I didn't have any other class in there because when I took physics, it was all remote. And physics 2 was in our math building. I was trying to think, so much of like the COVID time frame is blurred out in my brain.
Yeah. No, that's understandable.
Yep. What else?
I'm
going back to Charlotte when this gets posted.
Oh? What's down there?
I'm really tired of traveling. I was telling my mom, I'm tapped out. I can't unpack my suitcase.
Here you go again.
I planned this one a month and a half ago, so I have to do it. But after this, like, next time I travel, it's when I'm moving out. I'm so done. I tap out. Like, I still haven't unpacked my suitcase. It's been 2 weeks. It's sitting in the back of my car. That's bad, but...
Yeah. Understandable, though.
Oh, and we're going down for a Panthers game because it's cheaper for me to buy a hotel.
Yeah.
Buy the Panthers tickets and drink than it is for me to buy good jet seats. So we're driving to the Panther Stadium.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I'm also looking at apartments because my timeline to move out is like end of January, February timeframe.
That's what I'd like, a new job. I would have liked a new job by the end of the year, but I don't see that one happening.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just a really tough job market. And everyone says, like, there's jobs everywhere. But it's like there's job postings, but not job hirings.
Well, there are jobs everywhere, but there's not jobs I qualify for everywhere.
And the jobs you qualify for, you don't want.
Right. Like a secretary.
No.
Yeah, that's what I qualify for.
You qualify for entry-level sales positions. Which means...
I can't even get into HR positions.
Curtis, people come out of college as history majors and get sales positions. If you apply for an entry-level sales position, you will probably get it, but they're also not in the area that you need. Like, you're not going to find a ton of these positions in central Pennsylvania, which is, like, your core issue. Well, not central Pennsylvania, where you are in central Pennsylvania.
Well, I don't know what to do. And that's why I'm also still looking for HR. It's not like I'm just going strictly for sales. Like, I'm looking for other stuff, too.
Yeah.
It's not easy to find something.
I missed my cutoff for not having to do a performance review by 3 days.
Ooh.
Yeah, I found that
I'm
out
not
today.
looking forward to mine
tomorrow.
if I get to that point.
You will. You will.
You earlier just said, yeah, they totally going to, didn't you?
I don't think they're going to fire you.
I don't know.
Everything I see about people getting fired, it's like you walk in Monday, and then if it's not
This isn't
it's
that
like
kind of
out
firing.
the blue. They do it like even if you're on a PMP, they wait because they don't want to have to pay. Like, it's something about like the pay. Like, if they fire you Monday, there's a reason people quit on Fridays and you fire on Mondays. It has something to do with getting paid.
Well, I don't know, but 45 days ago when I got this, they said we'll reevaluate and you'll find out if you pass or fail in 45 days. 45 days is tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you're fine.
Well, I'd like to believe that, but until I walk out of there tomorrow, I don't know if I'll believe that.
That's fair. Oh, got anything else? I feel like I say that every episode.
I feel like we always run out of things, because at the end of the day, our lives aren't that interesting right now.
My life will literally never be that interesting.
I know.
Do you want to hear the saddest part about my life? I found my dream apartment, and they don't have any open listings for when I'm trying to move out. The only open listing they have is for December 9th, and I refuse to move out before Christmas.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. So now I'm like, I told myself I have to stop looking because I'm going to keep finding apartments that I like that don't align to my time frame.
Yeah.
That's what my life consists of. I do a lot of Zillow shopping. I deleted social media off my phone back in like September. Social media has not been re-downloaded to my phone, which I think that's saving some of my sanity. And I started reading a lot more. There's an app called, oh my god, I'm pulling it up, Storygraph. So I'm a Goodreads fanatic. I track everything I do on Goodreads. There's this new app called Storygraph, and it provides statistics about the books you read. So fun. So it lets you import all of your Goodreads data, and then everything in Goodreads it has, so you can essentially like stop using Goodreads. And now it can tell you like it has like pie charts, so it tells you like how many books you've read, how many pages you've read, the type, like the pie chart of the type of books you read. So it's like romance, dark, mystery, fantasy, all of this stuff. And then it tells you, I gotta pull it up, like it has a whole statistics section, the pace that you read, the page numbers from like how many pages are in the books, fiction versus nonfiction, genre. It's so fun. I am a nerd to statistics, as we know, with like my aura ring, so it makes tracking books fun again.
You know what I forgot about until you said books?
Oh, that I want to read Brandon Sanderson?
Yes. And that you said that as I was actually getting work done and then messed up my entire flow.
Yeah, I'm so there's a it happens with every president, but like there's a large book ban going on. And the American Literary Association released what they project to be what the book ban will look like, and a lot of his books are on it. So my whole goal is to read a ton of the books on the book ban. So I'm reading like old fiction or old school. So I'm reading like Animal Farm, The Jungle, Wuthering Heights.
I think
What is
Animal
the
Farm
other?
is funny.
What is the other one?
Catcher in the
The
Rye?
Catcher in the Rye.
I thought
So
that
I'm
was
reading
stupid.
those. I have never read it. But also not surprised that you thought that. But cause like it's like that's like a common male theme about that book. But his books are on it too. First, like they're projecting like a lot of the book bans come from like like kind of like the fantasy realm, like not promoting fantasy type stuff. But a lot of his books are on the projected book ban, so I'm gonna read a ton of his books as well. Which that's Curtis's like favorite author.
Yeah. I have one of his books coming for Christmas. It comes
Really?
out, yes, it comes out 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I think. And so realizing that it came out like December 12th, I think is the date, I told my mother and I was like, hey, Christmas, please. I want it signed. And I'm not going to pre-order it because I want it signed. But I want it signed. And I know it comes out at Christmas, so Christmas gift, here, go. It will be my 4th signed book from him.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Can you download this app so that we can create a community with me and you in it, and you can track when I start reading his books?
Listen,
Please,
I
and
was going to
thank
say,
you.
and I forgot to say it, but I will do a reread of the entire Cosmere when you get there.
We can do live read-alongs. We can do
Yeah.
once we start popping out in this podcast, we can create book clubs, which would be fun. Actually, I'm going to create one now for us.
What's the app?
Storygraph.
Storygraph. I'll have to see if like the stuff that I read's on there, because it probably isn't.
It probably is. It has like the whole Barnes and Noble library.
Yeah, these aren't on Barnes and Noble.
Oh, the other stuff you read.
Yeah, my webcomics.
Yeah.
That I found a really good one that's got like 230 chapters. Let's see. Okay, well I have the app now.
Oh, I just created a book club.
Okay. Let me create an account. I don't have an
Oh,
account.
that's so cool. You can do upcoming meetings, past meetings, forums, leaderboard, about. Okay, so coming soon, our book club.
I can't guarantee I'll actually read most of the stuff until you
If
get
we
to
read,
Sanderson.
if I read Brandon Sanderson, I'm doing like 4 or 5 books at a time right now, Curtis.
Okay, well, I don't read like that when I'm reading Sanderson.
I
Well, you
always
could
have a
read
book
you could
on
read
me.
like that when you're reading Sanderson. It's not advised.
Yeah, well, right now I'm reading like a history book and or like a policy book. I'm reading a fantasy book and a romance book. So that's 3 books at a time. And sometimes I do 2 romance books because I'm trying to cover like a lot of ground in the book talk realm. But yeah. We also just hit 40 minutes and I think I started spewing about books way too often, way too much. So me and Curtis are going to figure out this whole book club thing and then we're going to create one and post about it because that would be so much fun.
Yeah, now I gotta find out if I actually have Goodreads on my phone still. I don't think I do.
Well, you don't have to import from Goodreads. You
I
can
was
just
going
start
to, because
fresh.
I had some stuff on my Goodreads.
I keep my Goodreads very up to date with book reviews.
Oh, man, I have to make a library now. Oh no. This is why I haven't gotten into these apps. I don't want to have to do all of the documentation.
What do you mean you
That
have to create a library?
like I have to document all of the books,
It's very quick and easy.
but I want everything in there.
Oh,
Anyway,
so we're gonna hang up soon. But with that being said, if you want to join our book club, create a Storygraph app.
not sponsored.
Nope.
Not
What is-
sponsored. I want to click the not sponsored button, and so I'm specifying this is not sponsored.
Not sponsored at all. But it's gonna be
Unless they
where I
want to.
figure out how to. It's very, very small and woman owned, just freshly started. So probably not. But
Yet.
But if you want to join our book club, create a thing there, and I'm going to post it on the Instagram somehow, which I haven't posted on in like 3 months. But
We can
figuring out.
update the link and then just put it on the link.
So true.
Because we haven't
But
done that
thank
yet
you
either.
for listening to this episode. We went on a wild tandem at the end there, but thank you for listening, and keep listening to us ramble.
Way to close it out there.
Wonderful.
Perfect.